looks like until you've seen one. You don't know what a bad screenplay looks like until you've seen one. So there are many places where you can read screenplays. One's on my site, nycscreenwriter.org. I have 2 screenplays right there right now. Lincoln, superb on page, beautifully written by a brilliant writer who I thought should have won the Oscar. That's just my humble opinion. And I also have Django Unchained. Talk about a phenomenal example of dialogue, which Quentin Tarantino does so very well. So read screenplays. Drew's Scriptorama.com, simplyscripts.com, Barnes & Noble, before they all go out of business, they have a whole screenplay section. Read a Coen Brothers. Read some classic screenplays. My favorite screenwriter of all time is Preston Sturges. He was in the early 40s. He wrote probably one of the 7 most brilliant comedies of all time. And he was the first writer-director, and he paved the way for thousands of writer-directors now. So go online, you could find it, you could even Google it. Find a script, read your favorite movie, you know, the ones that you really like, and then read a really bad movie, because it's always good to know good and bad. So see what it looks like on page. Understand the format, understand what you do, what you don't do. There are screenwriting, if you really want to do this, there's screenwriting software. There's, it's called Final Draft. I'm not plugging them, they don't need it. They control like 98% of the business. That's what Hollywood uses. It also has a TV mode, so you could also, or a playwriting mode. So if you're serious, you could start with using Word, but you'll have to reformat every 10 seconds. But if you're serious, Final Draft, that's the screenwriting software of choice. So read screenplays, read screenplays, read screenplays. Second is BIC, but in chair time. You cannot write, you're all writers. It takes a lot of time. Everyone sees the glory or winning the award or walking down the red carpet. They don't see the sweat equity, the years, the exasperation of you sitting there and saying, oh my God, I'm going to plait my hair. You have to get your butt in chair time. There's no shortcuts to being a writer. Of course, you could hire someone if you have enough money. Sure, that's a shortcut, but most of us in this room, I would venture to say all, including the cameraman, probably is going to be writing their own stuff. So you have to put your time in. And a side note, you have to value your time. You have to say, you know, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., while the kids are asleep, or the husband just went off to work, or the wife just went off to work, or my partner, my dog is out for a walk, that is my sacred time to do your craft. You have to make time for it, because if you do make time for the things that you love the most, I feel that I'm a better human being. So, and get people a support system that people really value your sacred time. So if you say, I'm a writer and this is my time to do it every day, it could be midnight to 3 a.m., do that. So, and also come up with a great idea. Well, how do you do that? Well, a high concept idea. That's what you want, a high concept idea. So what is that? Well, what is a high concept idea? Okay. Well, first, I want you to do, before you get your idea, I want you to do your research. So do research. So you have a great idea that you think no one else has ever done. And writing anything is a huge amount of work. I mean, you got to put a lot of BIC, button chair time. So why don't you do some research first? Because someone probably could have beaten you to that idea of a vampire who saves a beautiful girl from a car accident, falls in love, and have vampire babies while they're still virgins. Don't ask me. I don't know. But someone did that already. We know what that was. Twilight. So do your research. Come up with your idea, which I'll show you how to do in a moment. But do your research. These are websites, trackingb.com. These are the latest script sales in Hollywood. It's what's sold in January, December, February, what's selling in March. Some of it is free. Some of it you need to subscribe to. But Deadline Hollywood, you do not. It is the most important blog in Hollywood, and it has the daily occurrences of the business. It doesn't say who, you know, not talking about Angelina Jolie's leg or Anne Hathaway's dress at the Oscars. It doesn't do that. It has what I say is important information in the business, what executives are being promoted, which ones are being fired, what is selling, what pilot just sold, who's being cast in the pilot, who is producing the pilot. So do your research. Make sure your idea is not replicated there, because knowledge is power, because it takes an enormous amount of time to do this, as I keep saying. So do your research. So you should go on Deadline Hollywood, one second, almost every day. I mean, she updates it constantly. Hollywood hates Nikki Fink, who is the author of this blog, but she is a very powerful person because she has the context and gets the information out. Sometimes information the execs don't want out, but you're there to enjoy it and it's a gift to you. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I was just going to say, which one of those was it that you just mentioned?
Deadline Hollywood.
DeadlineHollywood.com.